we are being joined by, a returning guest to Cage-Side Submissions tonight, Miss Jessy Jess. How are we doing this evening, my friend?
Good. How are you?
I'm awesome. I got to ask you, we're asking everyone tonight. The big fight was last night.
Yeah.
Did it live up to your expectations, and are you glad it's finally over with?
Yeah, it pretty much went exactly how I figured it would. I kind of figured it was pretty scripted already, but even if it wasn't, I'm happy with how it went. Like, I wanted Conor to win so bad just because he wanted to win so bad, and he believes in himself so much, and I wanted to see him achieve that. But at the same time, on paper, it didn't make sense. So I was glad to see him go 10 rounds, and I was happy to see it end the way it ended. Sucks. I don't like seeing Floyd win, but whatever. That's how it goes.
Yeah, man. It was definitely and it's funny because where I watched the fight last night was I was in a house full of an Irish family. They're running around with the who the Fook is that guy T-shirts. The 9 and 10-year-olds from upstairs came down when the fight got started to enjoy the fights and all that. So it was weird because I'm sitting there and everyone's like, "Who are you rooting for?" I'm like, "Well, I'm not rooting for anyone. I don't really have a horse in this race. But if you think who I think is going to win, I think Floyd's going to do it." He's like, "How could you think that?" I'm like, "How can you guys just buy in the hype? The guy has never had a professional boxing match going against basically the best boxer that we've seen in the last 20 years. Oh, and he's also the best defensive boxer we've probably ever seen. So, he's a third-generation boxer to top it all. So, as much as
it was insane.
As much as I love what Conor has done, and here's one thing that people haven't really touched on. Conor made boxing very, very relevant last night, and it was something that boxing hasn't really had in quite some time. So
unless it's Canelo. But no one cares about boxing anymore unless it's like one of the big names, which sucks because I love boxing. I prefer watching boxing to MMA, but it was good to see so many people tune in for a fight for once.
Yeah, I mean, it was. I thought it was a special night. It was a fun night. Dana was right. It was a bit of a shit show as he was calling it, but it was also a fun night, man. It was. But I also think there's things that they missed. They dropped the ball with not adding more significant fights to the undercard. It was embarrassing looking at that arena. Like it was barren. I was like, what is going on? Like, I know the fights in Vegas, and I've actually gotten in arguments with fans before, and they were like, I was like, listen, the United States is not the biggest market for MMA. As much as you get so excited for it and the numbers that pull in sometimes, go and watch a fight that are overseas. Go watch fights in the UK. Go watch fights in Australia. Go watch fights in Brazil. They are packed from the first fight.
Yeah, especially in Brazil and Mexico.
But that's what I'm saying. Listen, I love the United. I'm an American. I love the U.S. But guess what? We are not the biggest market for MMA. We are one of the bigger ones. We are definitely in the top 5, but we're not the best. And last night shows why I say what I say about combat sports. We love it, but we don't love to be there for the whole thing for whatever reason. Unlike what Americans do when it comes to football.
There was no one there. There was no one there last night until main event. It was fucking it was ridiculous.
It's one of the. And that's where I say I feel they kind of dropped the ball. Was it a great night? Was it fun for a lot of the casual fans coming in that asking questions? I was literally I couldn't watch some of the earlier boxing matches because a couple of the people there found out that that I follow the sport, religiously. I have a podcast. So I started getting all these questions like, oh, what do you think about this? So I missed a lot of it, but when I'm looking at the TV, I'm just kind of shaking my head because I'm looking at the arena like, oh, man. Like, you had Chris Cyborg sitting there volleying for a fight. You had Stipe Miocic calling out Anthony Joshua. But now, I'm not saying necessarily those were two viable options to put on there, but put somebody on there to kind of, like really, sell that event. It's one of the things I kind of felt they dropped the ball on, but was it worth $100? Sure. Probably. But at the end of the day, if they ever do something like that, if you're going to do something like that, go all in. Put all your cards.
Yeah, do it properly. Yeah, I agree.
Now, now changing gears, because, I don't want to kind of dwell on that too much. I've kind of beaten that horse to death over the last 2 hours. You've been busy, man. I know you were doing the Winter Warrior thing. I know you just had a fight for Titan with a big win over Carina Damm. How's everything going, man? Like, how was the taping? How did the fight come about? What's going on?
Man, everything's going on. It never stops. Winter Warrior is still going. Our finale's in 3 weeks. So that's still taking up, 75% of my time. And I love it. It's been an incredible experience, and I'm really, really excited for the finale. But I'm also very, very excited to not have 3 a.m. get-ups for a little while. I'm excited to be able to get up at 6 like regular people, But all 5, I'm going to train at 6. But still, 5 is better than 3. So, yeah.
3 a.m.?
We're just been busy. Yeah, well, so up until a couple of days ago, I ride my bicycle everywhere, so it takes me an hour to ride to the gym. So I'd have to get up at 3 to leave by 4 to be at the gym by 5 to teach, So I just bought a car now right at the end of it, right when I don't need it. It would have been handy 5 months ago having a car, but whatever. But yeah, it's pretty busy. And then obviously that fight was super short notice. We took it on 2 weeks and it's got a good win over a good opponent. It was a fun experience and a really weird split decision, but all in all, it was good. Well,
you got the victory. You got back to your winning ways. For a very respectable promotion. We just had Alexa on. She's fighting the 31st for Invicta. Are you? Are you planning on getting on their next card?
I'll be with Alexa. I'm cornering her for that fight on Thursday.
Look at that. That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, she was supposed to corner me for that Titan fight, but she's been doing a bit of training at ATT, and we didn't want it to be an issue for her cornering against an ATT fighter, so she didn't end up doing it. But yeah, I'm still cornering for her, and then probably going to try and get on the November card for Invicta. I believe that's when their next one is after this one. So we'll see. We'll see what they offer. We'll see what comes back first.
Now, we were talking to Alexa about a few things. That bantamweight title is going to be on the line the 31st, and she was already saying that she's definitely going to stick around and see how that plays out. Is that Yeah, is that a fight you're going to be looking forward to? Like I said, I really think this Yana kind of redeems herself with this fight.
Yeah, I don't know. People underestimate Raquel a lot, honestly.
Oh, I don't underestimate her.
Because I feel like every person who fights. Yeah, I like Raquel. I'm hoping that Raquel gets it. She's been around for so long, fighting so many people. She deserves it more than anyone right now. And I know she's been training hard, so I'm kind of pulling for her.
It's like one of those things where it's like one of those things when you see a fighter that pays their dues and just have weird things happen and things kind of like slip through their fingertips and you kind of want to see them like it's like when you watch professional like another professional sport like baseball, football, hockey, whatever, and you see the guy that almost gets there every time and they kind of leave a situation and they're getting a chance to maybe kind of finally win that championship. No matter if that person was somebody who used to beat up on your team or whatever, secretly inside you're rooting for that person, and I get that, especially with her.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. She deserves it, man. I'm glad to see her finally fighting for it.
I am too. It's one of those things, I gotta love what Caitlin, Shannon, and Julie do with all the ladies is you never really see those awkwardly odd matchups. It's like, why were these two put together? It's not that's not a real fight or a real matchup. And that's one thing I'm actually glad I could sit there and say, like, you don't see that with Invicta. That's why I truly love to tune into these fights. Sometimes you get an amazing style, and then sometimes you get a real technical battle. So it's like you kind of get the best of everything when you look at it, and I think it's one of the better things there.
Yeah, I agree. They always do a good job matching people up.
So now,
sorry, I'm in the store right now. There are other people talking around me. I'm doing my groceries. I gotta go home and meal prep.
There you go. Well, at least you find some time to squeeze us in and talk a little MMA, see what's going on with you. Now,
yeah, of
obviously,
course. Man. If I schedule it in, I'm always good. As long as I got in my schedule, I'm good. I'll be there.
Well, I've been there. We've scheduled interviews with fighters, and there's, regardless if I remind them or not, something will come up or something like that. It's the price I pay for doing live shows, I guess. But I'll never stop doing live shows. I love doing it that way because you never know what fan could be listening in and calling in, and maybe something you or another fighter says just kind of really resonates with them, and you touch somebody with that. That's kind of the reason why I continue to do the live shows, and I will continue to do them. Kind of miss out on some interviews from time to time, but hey, it happens. Eventually, you'll get it. It's fun. But
for sure.
Now one of the things that we were also talking to Alexa about, we had Shannon on here in the past, and she's been talking about Invicta doing grappling shows and possibly maybe boxing or stuff like that. Is that something that you would probably entertain too? Like if under the Invicta banner, maybe some boxing matches to kind of kind of work on some things and hone on some things without not really being you kind of see where you're at. Like you see fighters who they may come in as strictly a grappler, and they've been diligently working on their striking, and they kind of want to see where they're at with it. It would either the grappling or the potential of Invicta boxing something that would interest you? I mean, you see a lot of other fighters that they're taking every opportunity they can get.
Yeah, 100%. Like I've been hearing about this Invicta boxing thing since November last year, and I'm hoping they do it because I've been trying to find boxing fights out here in Vegas, and I either find, amateur boxing where I'm not getting paid. It's not worth me fighting and not getting paid, because that's still damage and part of my career. Or, because of my MMA record, I've got to fight girls that have been boxing for years and years and years, which I'm happy to do, but the time frame doesn't always work out. So at least if Invicta does their boxing shows, I'd try and jump on every single one if I could. I'd love to box. That's what I've been trying to do since I've been in Vegas, is fucking find boxing fights between MMA.
It's one of the things that I think that combat sports fans don't get is that, one, you guys don't get paid enough for everything you guys sacrifice and everything you guys give up to be able to train to do what you guys need to do. So when they talk about stuff like this, and I would love to see it. Even if Invicta kind of winds up having to bring some professional boxers in to kind of work with some of their MMA fighters initially to kind of build up that base, then so be it. But hopefully it's, knowing how they do things, they're going to make sure you guys aren't, fighting somebody who's got like 50 professional fights and you're kind of making your debut. We don't want to see what we seen last night. We really don't. Yeah.
I highly doubt they'd do that anyway. Like, they're all about building us girls up, no matter who we are. So I know they wouldn't be giving us super uneven matchups. So it'd be good if they do it. I hope they do, but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
I totally agree. I can't wait to see what happens. It's since Shannon told me here on the show, I've been like waiting to see some news kind of pop out about it. I know she likes to play things really close to the chest until she announces it. So
yeah,
it's like
man, I'll be waiting for a
like
year to hear about that.
It's almost like you're a kid like waiting for the end of the school year and you're in your last class and you're just looking at the clock like, all right, come on, I know it's coming. Let's do it.
Hurry up, you can do it. Yeah, exactly. It's exactly the same thing.
So, yeah, but I mean, definitely. So when obviously you're saying you're almost done taping with the Warrior, how are people going to be able to watch that, and how soon do you think from the time taping ends to the time that people will be able to check it out?
Yeah, so with this first season, because we didn't get as many people applying as what we were hoping, it's not going to be aired or anything. But I'm hoping that we've had a lot of interest with season 2. So if season 2 happens, and that's purely depending on how many people we get applying, because it's a lot of time out of, it's 5 months of 3 to 4 a.m. wake-ups and putting a lot of energy into helping these people's careers or helping their day, that takes a lot of energy away from my own career. So the only way we're really going to do it is if we get the numbers, like get 30 or 40 people for season 2. And then if we do get 30 or 40 people for season 2, then we're going to try and get it on public access TV. That's what we haven't been able to because we just couldn't justify it. One, I didn't have the money in my budget to pay someone to come and film it. So all our sessions have been filmed on a GoPro, But I just couldn't, with how many people we had actually turn up for it, I just couldn't afford it. We had to come out. I'm in this country on a very specific visa where I can't make money unless I fight, so I don't really have the money to put into getting their stuff televised, But hopefully season 2 will. That's what our goal is to get season 2. Like, we've had a lot of the news stations, the newspapers here come and do stories on us, and I'm hoping that because of the publicity that they've given us, season 2 will be a lot bigger.
I'm definitely anything that we can do. Please, Jess, don't be afraid to reach out. Cause, even if I can't particularly help, I can put you in contact with some other media sites to kind of help get that information out there. It's I'm not one of these guys that like I want to be the one that breaks everything and be in the middle. No, like if somebody can help you out better than I am, I definitely will send you to that person's way. It's one of the weird things about media these days. It's like everyone wants to be the person. It's like, why not be part of a great group of people? Like, that makes no sense.
It's not just like that with media. It's like that with coaches. It's like that with gyms. It's like that with the people that hang on the sides of these, elite fighters. Like, there's a lot of people that are exactly like that. Everyone wants to be the guy. Everyone wants to be the guy. No one wants to just help you for the sake of helping you. They want to be the one to say that they helped you.
It's one of the things that I think it doesn't matter what walk of life, and you're always going to have people like that. But sometimes through all that, you find the right people that kind of make things worth doing what you're doing. So
absolutely.
Like I said, it's an awesome time to be in combat sports, man. Like I said, you look at where the sport was 5 years ago to where it is now. The opportunities you guys have readily available to you is insane. When I first, when it was being a fan and started to kind of get the lay of the land of things, thinking back on, from when I first started really religiously watching the sport, like back in 2005, we're looking here, close to 12, 13 years later. I couldn't imagine it back then. But I think it's awesome for male fighters, female fighters, promotions, whatever. You guys have amazing opportunities, and it's going to be awesome. So, but one of the things I want to get, you're one of these people that. Oh, go ahead.
No, I'm not talking. That's the loudspeaker at the grocery store.
So, with all these opportunities out there, and you being one of these people that I guess we love to take risks. Ryzen like to do these tournaments, and I still think it's one of the things that kind of a lot of these larger promotions kind of lost sight on. It's not something you have to do on a daily basis, or even something you don't even have to do once a year. Maybe, the right situation arises. Like, look what's going on with the UFC with the 205 division. We're probably going to see John Jones stripped of a title and have a title for grant. Put a freaking tournament together with the top, 6 guys and have them, battle it out to see who wins the title instead of just giving a title to Daniel Cormier or putting him in an interim title fight with Gustafsson again. Put a tournament together. Make it fun over, a 6-month period of time.
Yeah.
Or am I just insane?
Yeah, but you can't tell them. No, you can't tell them what to do, though. They're going to do what they want to do regardless of what everyone else wants.
Oh, yeah, but don't you think that would kind of bring more interest into the guys that are fighting for it and stuff like that? Or am I just kind of spitballing here?
No, I think it would be really cool if they started doing that, but it's such an old school thing to do, and I think they're trying to get so far in the future that they're unwilling to even use the old way, even if it's good, So I don't know. I think it would be cool if they did it, but they do what they think is going to make them money.
Yeah. What about Ryzen? If they ever hit you with an opportunity to fight in one of their Grand Prix, would that be something you would entertain?
Dude, I've been trying to get on Ryzen for fucking ever. I just think they don't want me because I got too many tattoos in. They don't like my tattoos in Japan. I'd kill to get on that show. That's what I'd be like. Yeah, I would love to. But we'll just see. I
Maybe,
think every few weeks I see the Ryzen PR page will on Instagram post them one. I hope that's my way in. They know who I am. Maybe they'll want me one day.
Yeah, well, I think that's good. I think if their PR team is liking your stuff or whatever, that means they're seeing what you're doing. It means they do have an eye on you. So, maybe you might be frustrated that you haven't gotten the opportunity yet. Well, maybe they're just waiting for the right situation to arise to pick up that phone and say, hey, guess what? Pack your bag.
Yeah, maybe.
We got to fight for you. We did approach them a little while ago, and the response that came back was, they don't like your tattoos in Japan. So until they change that, I'm pretty sure there's not really much of a chance. What if they say what if you say I'll wear a rash guard? Can you let me fight then?
Yeah, man, I'd fight long sleeves. I don't really want to, but I'll do it. I just want to fight in Japan again. Fuck, it was that's still my last fight in Japan was still my favorite fight. I'd love to get back over there.
I mean, that's why I was asking you, because a lot, not just you, but just a lot of fighters. It's Japan is Mecca.
It is. It is. That's where this all started, man. Fighting MMA in a ring in Japan. That's the epitome of fucking old school. I fought in front of 120 people over there, but it was in Japan and it was in a ring and it was against a Japanese girl. It was perfect.
It's one of the things that I love asking fighters is because it's kind of like I said, it's Mecca. It's where a lot of fighters want to, if they haven't had the opportunity, they're dying for the opportunity, and even if they have already had the opportunity, they're dying to go back just because of how things are, how everything works when you have a fight over there. It's amazing. We're talking about how far the sport has grown, but when you talk to fighters, it's they want to go back to the old style things for whatever reason.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's as we get older, we want to hold on to things that are we know they're going to kind of slowly fade away. I don't know if that's it, but I mean, I definitely feel you guys when it comes down to it. You want to have opportunities like that.
Yeah, for sure, 100%. Just to experience it, The guys that we all grew up watching, they all got to do it. Who doesn't want to do what their idols did?
Well, that's why I laugh when people ask me who my favorite fighters are. I'm like who do you really support that fights now? I'm like, I can't answer that question. All the guys that I grew up being fans of and enjoyed to watch really fight, are all gone. But now, do I have love for fighters? Yeah, I got mad love for a lot of the fighters who compete these days. It's just, I guess, I don't know if it's just I've been doing this for almost 5 years now. It's kind of gotten to the point where, you support people, but you stay as unbiased as you possibly can without kind of cross that line. But there'll always be fighters that quietly inside them,
Yeah. But I think, like, there's so many now that unless you, like, connect with one of them personally, like, it's hard to support all of them, you know? Because it's, like, realistically, it's way more saturated now than what it even was 2 years ago. It's fucking so many of us. So that's what I find. Like, I don't even watch the fights unless it's someone that I really want to watch. Like, if it's Frankie, I'll watch Frankie every day of the week, you know? But unless it's Frankie, I'm probably not going to watch it.
But it's also one of the things I was talking about earlier. Like, MMA is really getting starved for superstars. Like, it was weird. Like, we had a whole bunch of them from mid-2000 to about 2010, maybe even maybe 2012. And then it just started getting to this point where I don't know if it's because there's so, like you said, there's so many of them now. It's kind of hard for some of these fighters to kind of stand out anymore. And that's why I was saying that I kind of felt that when we were talking to Alexa, that I kind of feel that getting away from UFC Fight Pass might be good for Invicta and kind of hook up with somebody like Showtime, because their production team does such a good job of not only the video clips, but getting into getting into who the fighter is, why they fight, who they're fighting for. It's not to say that what Invicta's doing right now is wrong or it isn't good enough. It's just that production team is just insane when it comes to that.
Yeah. No, I agree. But the thing is, like, now, you know, with fighting with, like, MMA and it becoming more mainstream and it being around for as long as it has now, like, everyone gets into the sport for pretty much the exact same reasons, you know? So, like, how many times do you want to hear the same story over and over again? Like, how many times do you want to hear the story of someone using MMA to get over, you know, abuse as a child, or get over addiction, you know, or get over neglect, or get over hard times in their life? Like, everyone does this for the exact same reason. Everyone's got the same story. So it's hard. That's why there are no superstars anymore, because there's no one who comes through with a different story and really makes a difference, you know? And even if they do come through with the same story, there's only 1 in 100, 1 in fucking 500 who are doing something that no one else is doing, and that's Conor. That's why Conor became such a big deal, you know? And then you see all these guys and girls who come after him and they try and do what he did, but they don't understand that if they want to be a standalone superstar, they've got to do what they do, not copy what he did.
But here's the thing,
so, like,
and I completely agree with you there, that the story is almost recycled and it's almost the same thing over and over again. And I think that's why Ronda was so different, because her story, like, you know, her early upbringing, some of the things that happened to their family, to her, stuff like that, was just so different than anything I ever heard, that everyone was just so endeared to her, and it just literally blew up and spun off from there.
Exactly. And the thing is, with her personality, she did something that no one else, no man, no woman, no one was doing. No one was behaving the way she behaved. No one reacted the way she reacted, which was why she became such a big deal. Because all these people, they're so afraid to stand alone, or they're so afraid to be different, that they'd rather sit back and, like, complain about other people doing so well, instead of understanding that those people who are doing so well and who have put themselves in the spotlight are risking everything. Like, Ronda risked everything to be in the position that she was in. So instead of hating on her, like, appreciate what she did and do that. Put yourself at risk, you know?
It's something that I think terrifies everyone. Like, it doesn't matter if we're talking about MMA or whatever. Taking chances, stepping out of the mold, so to speak, and kind of going a different path terrifies people. It doesn't matter if we're talking about business, if we're talking about, you know, schooling, combat sports, athletics in general, whatever. Anyone who kind of goes off that road, you're setting up for failure. But I still think it's, at the end of the day, you know, it's like, you know what, to hell with it. If I fail, I fail. At least I tried. Now I know what doesn't work.
Yeah, but the only way that you're gonna fail is if you don't give it a shot. Like, don't give it a shot in the first place. You know, you're never gonna fail if you're trying to do it. You can never fail. If you give it a go, you're not failing. You know, that's what people don't understand. They're too scared to try things because they're like, oh, what if I make a mistake? What if I fail at that? But then they're stopping themselves from even having the chance to do something great in the first place, because they're so afraid of something that hasn't even happened and may never happen.
It's one of the things I think a lot of athletes kind of battle with, but you get lucky like with guys like Connor, who he absolutely betted on himself, and regardless if he fell, I think he still win. And like people are saying like, oh, now you're getting into that thinking of the second place awards and stuff like that. I'm like, why? I'm like, he did something that so many different other people just wouldn't do. The only person I knew that was actively seeking a boxing match while they were at their peak was Anderson Silva. I didn't really think anyone else was really looking to kind of test those boundaries. So I'm absolutely going to give Conor the credit, and I give him more flack than anything. People are like, oh, he's a two-time champion. He's the legit real deal. I'm like, he might have won 2 belts, but he's never defended them. And a lot of athletes these days, they really say you're not really a champion until you defend them. The guy's never defended a single belt. Maybe he comes back and starts defending his belt. I might give him the 1,000% credit that a lot of people feel he deserves. But until then, I'm going to have some apprehensions against him. Doesn't mean I don't respect him. It doesn't mean he's not hasn't done amazing things for the sport, because he has. He's completely transcended fighter pay. What is acceptable for how a champion or an athlete's supposed to act. It's intriguing, regardless if you love him or hate him.
Yeah, you're exactly right.
And we also need to see more fighters like you too, Jess. You're one of the people I love. You don't filter anything. What comes to mind comes out, and I love that. I really do.
I try. I always feel like honesty is the best way to be. I feel like I'd rather upset someone because I'm being honest than give them false hope because I'm not.
And then the other thing is watching you deal with the knuckleheads on social media. I know we talked about it, but it's still fun. It's still fun watching you deal with them knuckleheads. I do it too, because I'll get somebody's like, "Oh, you're talking crap to a satire account." Like, no, I'm not. I'm actually laughing at him, looking at his response, because there was a guy last night basically was. Was basically, someone said that Conor was easy work, and he was like, "You're effing more on that. There was nothing easy about that fight." I'm like, "Well, Floyd didn't have a mark on him." "Well, he's black," so I'm like, "Oh, that's racist." I'm like, "Look, dude, there's not. You could tell if regardless of the color of the guy's skin, if he's been tagged, there's a welt or it's swollen. Don't be racist, dude. Freaking knuckleheads."
People are stupid.
Somebody DM me was like, that's like a talk crap account, right? I'm like, so? Just because he wants to sit there and you came on my tweet, dude. Guess what's gonna happen? I'm gonna respond.
Yeah.
People are knuckleheads.
Yeah, people
I love
are funny. People are dumb.
But
I love people, but people
also,
are dumb.
I think it's the fun part of social media is you get to make fun of the idiots who think their way of thinking must be shoved down your throat, and that's the way you must think about it too. It's fun.
Yeah. I never make fun of them. I try to encourage them. Yeah, it's better than you're never going to change someone's minds. You might as well just see how far they're willing to go.
Absolutely. When somebody is who they is, there's no changing them. Like when you talk when you talk about life, and you see these couples go through some things, and you see those girls or guys like, I'm going to change this person. Our relationship is going to be stronger because of it. And then 6 months, a year, maybe 2 years later, hey, whatever happened to so and so? Oh man, that was just don't even ask me.
Such a mistake. Yep.
It's fun though, but we all make mistakes in life. It's we learn from them, we move on, we do it with a smile, and we have a good day. But as I'm looking at the time, we're well into overtime here. So, Jess, you know how we do things here. Oh, good. Hey, there ain't nothing wrong. We can go another 20 minutes, but I know you food shopping and all that, and it's going to be interesting to do the interview as you're getting ready to kind of get home and get all that going. So
I've been sitting in the wine aisle of the store the whole time we've been talking, just waiting. Just wait.
Oh, Jesus Christ. All right, well, Jess, you know how we do this. As we end things, we kind of throw the proverbial microphone over you. Anyone you would like to thank, training partners, teammates, shoot out your social media sites, sponsors, anything you want to say at all, the time is yours, my friend.
Everyone knows that I appreciate them. Just go follow me on Instagram, miss.jessy_jess. That's it.
Well, Miss Jessy Jess, it's been another exciting time to talk to you. It's always good to catch up with you and see how things are going for you. Again, congratulations on the
thank you
on the victory, and definitely looking forward to seeing what's next. So, other than that, guys, please
awesome. Make
sure you guys are following Jessy, supporting her, do her thing, and keep doing it, man. It's fun watching you both in the cage and on social media. So keep doing it, my friend.
Thank you.
I really appreciate the time, and we'll definitely get you back on here again when you get the next announcement or whatever. We'll have some fun again.
Yeah, for sure. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, you have a good one.